Bing.
Hey, welcome to the Crit Couch. I'm Michael.
I'm Skylar.
Skylar's gonna make me edit out all of the swearing he just did in the first 10 seconds of the video.
Yeah, put Yoshi sounds or something. What?
Yoshi!
Hey, guess what? We're playing Mario.
Super Mario World TM. Yeah.
Sorry, I was like, TM. What is this? Like a version of the game?
No, that is. You know what? To be fair, that is a very like Japanese like. Let's add DX or double S or like something at the end of whatever. Why
is that a thing? This
know.
is not what we're here to do today, but now you've got me really curious.
I honestly have no idea. I kind of. This is Mario World.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna play Mario.
Sure fucking are.
Welcome. This is Dinosaur Land. In this strange land, we find that Princess Toadstool is missing again. Looks like Bowser is at it again. Go fucking figure.
It's a Tuesday. Yeah. Oh. So I do have vivid memories of this.
Do you?
Game.
Okay. Because I know we've talked before about how like
this was probably one of the first games I ever played.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Because I remember Apple level with all the little Tweety birds. Because I always wanted to get up there and play with them, but I don't think you could do that.
I think you can like make your way up there with like the cape and a little bit of gimmicking, but I don't think you can stand up there. But we can come back and try later.
Yeah, 5- and 6-year-old me didn't think about that.
So
what are we doing?
I don't know. Well, we were just talking. So I actually wanted to point out that like the birds are the colors of the 4 Yoshis that you can get.
Oh,
which are also the colors of the Super Nintendo buttons on the Japanese version of the Super Nintendo controller, which we didn't. We got the like weird, like the lavender and purple. Yeah, we got a dumbed down version over here.
Wait, so we had a less colorful controller?
Oh yeah,
man, Japan gets everything.
Yeah.
Cool.
Hello, sorry I'm not home, but I have gone to rescue my friends who were captured by Bowser. Yoshi.
He can write?
Yeah, well, this is it looks like a little speaker, so it's probably a little voice box.
Does he have hands? Yoshi has hands, right?
Yes.
Yeah. How? I'm sorry, that puts him in a much more sentient context than I have ever considered about Yoshi.
That is true. You never hear him use words.
No. So for him to just write you a goddamn letter is... Like, if I were Mario, I'd be like, I ride on this motherfucker's back.
Look at this naked-ass little turtle.
I don't know where my shell went. I'm dead.
Oh no, Mario's at it again. God damn it.
So we just watched, we decided we wanted to play this, due in part because there's been some really cool Mario announcements.
Oh yeah, there's the Super Mario RPG re-release that's coming out in a couple months here. They've got Super Mario Wonder. They've got the Princess Peach game, which I'm really pumped for.
Dude,
so like
that Princess Peach is too cute.
It got me in the mood for Mario, and like, I mean, obviously, like this channel we play primarily Super Nintendo and Nintendo games for right now,
and one PlayStation 1 title.
Oh yeah, and there is the Sega. We do have some Sega games.
Yeah.
In our one-offs, but like this is I mean, obviously, like this was the more or less first game on the Super Nintendo, like alongside Pilot Wings and I think F-Zero.
What is Pilot Wings?
It was another one of those like Mode 7, much like F-Zero, like was meant to be kind of like a show-off game for the Mode 7 stuff. Pilot Wings had a similar approach where there was a lot of the like weird scaling of everything so that you could see how like you could move the map around, like remap the graphics to look kind of 3D. I just gotta say, point of advice: you can hold an extra item in the box at the top of the screen. To use it, press the select button. So like, you know, part of this was then gonna always. I love how they just accordion down.
That's how I feel.
Well, it's actually a good demonstration of how that box works, because you can either force the item to drop down yourself using the select button, or...
Oh, did it just do that automatically?
Yeah, if you have an item sitting in your bank. You know, one of the things that, like, we always talk about with video games is how, like, you know, Mario
Did you hear me
level.
clench?
Yes, you're always clenching. Always clenching. Always.
That's why I had to have that surgery once upon
Yeah.
a time.
He has the strongest butthole in the land.
Yeah.
To pick up a shell, use the X or Y button. To throw a shell upwards, look up and let go of the button. So, like, this is talking about, or what I was talking about was like how, you know, Mario 1-1 is always looked at. In fact, I think this is like a little reference to part of the level design of Mario 1-1. This same configuration of question blocks shows up in, yeah. But,
Become a
you know,
literate.
level 1-1s or first levels, like when I used to teach game design, I would, or like history of games, I would talk about how like the level 1 of Doom does a similar thing as Mario 1-1. But they're always like teaching levels. And this game changed a whole bunch of stuff about the Mario formula, like all around, which every game did. You know, Mario to Mario 2, which I know there's a whole like, it's Doki Doki.
It's what?
Well, the Super Mario 2 where like Shy Guys and stuff comes from, like that was Doki Doki. There's a much longer name, but it's like Doki Doki Panic. It was actually like originally themed. It was kind of like Arabian themed. And
Did you actually hit that button?
I didn't. I was just kind of talking
Yeah.
and wandering around the map. But so like the original Mario, Super Mario 2, which came out over here as like the Lost Levels. There was a Super Mario All-Stars that was released on the Super Nintendo that had like kind of like Super NES remakes of 1, 2, and 3, but it had the Lost Levels on it, which was actually the original Super Mario Brothers 2, but at the time, Howard
Stark.
The power of the switch you have pushed will turn the ... dots into ha! Your progress will be saved. There's so much to talk about, like right here in the beginning because of all of this. But so, real quick aside, that was viewed as the developers as kind of like a way to affect the difficulty of the game. I'm going to go back into Yoshi's Island 1 here to show this off, which is a new thing. It was a new thing to Super Mario World as well, being able to revisit the worlds. That was convenient. But so, as it pointed out, those little like the dots, or the dotted outlines now become actual blocks, and so part of the way. That was just a pause for Skylar's sneeze because he got pollen fucked the other day by pine trees.
Yeah, I'll tell that story in a bit. Oh, well, there's your first yellow boy.
That was the first one, and so those are all going to have mushrooms in them. But what I wanted to specifically point out is how sometimes these blocks are strategically placed to where if you have activated it, it actually like removes pits or gets things out of the way.
Those pesky pits.
Well, and it's important because the developers kind of saw these as like, rather than having easy, medium, hard difficulty, they kind of talk about them in terms of
I see you can use him to get all the way up.
yeah, which I did not do. So, but you can use those almost as like a difficulty slider in some cases to like give yourself more or less access. Now, I will say there are later levels where I think there are like secret entrances and stuff that are difficult or not possible to get to if you haven't tripped some of those. But it's an interesting kind of addition.
Have you ever seen the like infinite coin glitch thing on this level?
Not coin glitch.
It has something to do with like Yoshi and a coin over like a ditch.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember the whole shebang. I just remember watching it. once upon a
Hooray!
time.
Thank you for rescuing me. My name is Yoshi. On my way to rescue my friends, Bowser trapped me in that egg.
So have y'all not met before? He left you a note.
Yoshi just like left a general goodbye message at his house
For whoever.
that Mario somehow ended up at.
So is there a possibility where someone doesn't know what Mario is at this point in the Like
when you say do you mean like at this point in
the world.
like when Super Mario happened, when this game happens, or now?
Now. Yeah, like now.
I don't know, man. Like,
I mean, we were just talking about the
yes,
movie.
there are definitely going to be people who don't know what things are because
like
of
don't
media
care.
access.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's worth noting that like, this gate marks the middle of the area, so they gave you halfway points. Also, notice there's a little percussion track that got added when you sit on Yoshi.
Get off him real quick. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Fucking 30 years later.
I mean, it's like, so I worked with somebody who was from Sri Lanka, for instance, and when she came over to the States, she had very little like movie knowledge in general because the types of movies that they got access to in Sri Lanka were typically like much older. So like she knew certain things like Star Wars and Disney movies, but her general knowledge of like modern movies was very low. And so, you know, you figure like Nintendo games have like how you can eat that before the mole even pops out. And yes, Yoshi periodically just gives birth to power mushrooms.
Oh, that came out of him?
Yeah. When you eat like 5 of those apples. So yeah, I mean, I think it's probably safe to say that there are some people who don't know what Mario is. Like, oh shit, you know, we have a very kind of like Western-centric idea of like what people have knowledge of because we're so used to what we see over here in media. And yeah, it's kind of hard to like imagine like people not knowing some of those things just because of like how big those properties are. But
you really want those coins, huh?
I don't remember what's in all of them. There was a 1-up in one of them.
True, with the first one you hit.
Yeah. But well,
so
yeah,
how,
I think it's possible that like there are people who don't know what Mario is.
Yeah, it's just, you know, we were just talking about the movie, which grossed
1.3 billion.
Yeah, an absurd amount of money. Which is really, I mean, really cool. I mean, clearly people were very hungry for a fun, you know, a fun rendition of Mario that Bob Hoskins wasn't in.
I still maintain that if that movie had not been attached to the Mario... Now, I'll be fair to this and say if that movie had not been attached to the Mario name, it never would have looked the way it did. But if you stripped away, like, the parts where people were expecting it to look like Mario, it would have... I don't think it would be well remembered, but I think it would be less badly remembered, and there would be a lot of people who are like, man, this was a really kind of fun, weird niche, like, dystopian... sort of cyberpunky, like lo-fi cyberpunky sort of movie.
Well, there was a whole... Oh, here.
No, this is just telling us that those big dragon coins with Yoshi on them.
I thought you were about to fail that jump.
The dragon coins, if we collect all 5 of them, we get like a 1-up, basically.
We had a stream where, because I remember we were power washing Tifa's bar or whatever.
Yeah, for the FF7 crossover.
And we went real deep, or well, James went real deep into what all happened with the Mario movie, and it was like,
oh yeah, it was
crazy writer stuff, and like, yeah,
there was all kinds of back and forth. So note here, there's different shell types. We've only encountered red and green so far, but each different color shell type has a different effect when Yoshi eats it and spits it.
Part of, I was just thinking, because part of the reason I was wondering about like Mario is because like, so just talked about there were a bunch of, because was it Super Mario Wonder? I think it's coming out.
Yeah, it's the new one.
And like they've clearly added just a boatload of more weird mechanics and stuff that you can do.
Yeah.
Because to me it feels so very like, you know, as you're talking about, oh, here's these mechanics you can do and stuff. It's like, well, yeah, like that's Mario. Like everybody knows this. But
do they?
yeah. Well, and it's like the progression of it is kind of strange too.
Well, and that actually kind of comes back around to talking about like new things that Super Mario World, this game, did relative to what the series had done. So like, you know, the original Super Mario...
Is this the Link to the Past of Mario?
Not necessarily. I would actually say Super Mario 3 probably has a lot more lasting impact on...
What's that? Okay.
Probably has a little more lasting impact in general on what the series overall like looked like moving forward. But this one kind of transformed the way you could be exploratory with this level of platformer for Mario. Like I think you need Super Mario 3 and this one to kind of get to like Super Mario 64 and Mario Odyssey and stuff like that. Because like there's an original version of this, and maybe I'll see if I can find a picture of it to put up on the screen.
Put that picture up now.
I'm gonna put it up like just a couple seconds late, just to fuck with you. But when they first were building this game, like it actually just kind of looked like an upgraded version of Super Mario 3. So like the world map just like was a slightly kind of like more color present.
Wait, Super Mario 3 was before this game?
Yeah, this is Super Mario 4, basically.
Oh.
Yeah, Super Mario 3. That's the one that like, so like with Mario 1, you had like the Fire Flower and the Starman, and it was all really about platforming and all that good stuff. Super Mario 2, at least the one that America got, which did roll in and like affect the Mario series, but it, by nature of it being kind of like not truly the Mario game that was the second one, it had different mechanics that, god damn it, it's fine, that were not part of
it's fun time.
What Mario was like originally intended to kind of have, right? So like, you know, part of like the, you know, Toad and like the princess having the kind of like the floatiness with her jump. Luigi, I think Luigi did actually like jump a little bit higher in
Luigi
did actually like have a little bit of a higher jump in the original Mario, but like him having a completely different run speed and jump that was so demonstrated, like there were mechanical changes in controlling your character in 2, but never anything that was like
because you could play Toad in that one, right?
Yeah, you could play Toad, Mario, Luigi, and Princess, and like they each had slightly different.
What are we doing here?
It's like a match everything, like once you bonk all the boxes.
We're just gambling,
and it's like the more, if you get like anything in a row, you get 1-ups, which I didn't, but I have 18 lives anyway, so whatever. And Mario's like, woohoo, I failed!
My mother will disown me.
But so, I'm going to finish this and we'll finish the episode off before we go into this next one because we're about at time. But, yeah, so like, Mario 3 introduced all of these new power-ups. So like you had the kind of mechanical advancements, and then Mario 3 was like, and here's more mechanical advancements, but in the style of like the frog suit lets you do things underwater, which let them open up water levels. The Tanuki and the raccoon tail lets you fly, so they could open up more height. The Hammer Brother suit kind of like made you more aggressive, so it could change the way that they presented encounters, because Mario now all of a sudden had like
there was a Hammer Brother suit?
Yeah, you could throw hammers, and like it was really cool if you paired that with a superstar, because you kind of could like chain jump through the level. I mean, I think you could do that anyway, but it just looked really cool to be like a little bowling ball. But so this game really came down to like how do we move from there, which is why it started with kind of just trying to like rebuild Mario 3. And then they were like, this looks too similar. They were getting criticisms about like, this is just Super Mario 3, but with better colors. Mm-hmm. So they ended up having to kind of like go back to the drawing board of like, what does the world look like you know, what does Mario need to do to navigate this world? How can we kind of change this up? So this was really that kind of next step in exploratory platforming, letting you go back to levels, you know, there's secret exits in some of these levels. There's like a bigger secret that we'll go through as we progress through the game. So really fun stuff. But next time on Crit Cash, we can talk more about that.
Yeah. I love how strung out Yoshi looks in this. He's just bloodshot fucking eyes.
I've been running and jumping all day, man. Been running and jumping all day.
Get this plumber off of me.
Just eating shells, belching fire. You know what that does to your GI tract?
You think there's a lot of fiber in turtle shells or Koopa shells?
No, there is not at all.
No.
At all.
So he just shits meteors.
Butthole looks like obsidian.
Cut glass on that.
It is glass. Next time on Crit Couch.
Oh, God.